such as reflections in the environment and cool third-person finishers and the cinematic cutscenes.
Now, tell us about the sort of the setting of this game. Obviously, Mirror's Edge is known for that sort of sleek white look in the cities. Where are we going to go in this game?
So the art style does truly honor the first game as well. I mean, it's one of the really strong parts of the first game, and we love that part. So we are keeping that sleek, stylish, iconic look of it, but we're going to give you more variety. So you're actually going to go to the dark and gritty tunnels below the city, and we're going to let you feel on the rooftops, and you're going to scale huge skyscrapers, and you're going to see just a lot more variation in the environments than the first game.
Wow, well, it looks absolutely stunning. And again, even though this is a trailer, is this all in-game footage or in-engine footage?
In-engine footage.
Wow.
So there's quite some gameplay in there, and this is from one of the in-game cutscenes, cinematics, and yeah, it's just a mix of
it looks
all the
incredible.
great stuff.
I can't wait to go hands-on and play this thing. Yeah, and the gameplay mixed all together. It's
this is well,
a lot of these trailers.
Combats.
Wow, a lot of these trailers from E3, they're just starting to look too good. Because they're just amazing what you guys can do real time now. And so Mirror's Edge be coming out next year, right? Spring of 2016?
Yep. February 23rd.
February 23rd. All right, we already have a date, so we'll get ready for it. Well, congrats on revealing it again here, and I can't wait to go hands-on with it at E3 tomorrow.
I'm super excited.
Thanks so much. Yes, thank you very much for coming by. All right, well, we're going to keep things going right now, because coming up next, we've got great news for fans of turn-based strategy games. One of the most visually striking examples of this genre will return with Banner Saga 2. We revealed that over at the Game Awards last year, and great to have the guys from Stoic back with us here, the two co-founders, John and Arnie. So, guys, let's take a look at Banner Saga 2. You've got some gameplay footage here. We're going to talk about it. First of all, when is the game going to come out?
Game's going to come out this winter.
Okay, this winter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was great to have it revealed last year. So, yeah, we're looking at one of the beautiful sort of cinematics that you guys used when we revealed it. But we can go right into some of the gameplay and talk about the style of playing it. So tell us, the first game got a lot of great reviews. You guys did an amazing job bringing it to life.
Thank you.
For Banner Saga 2, what did you want to change?
Well, several things. One of the things we took away from feedback we got from the first one was that the players really enjoyed the in-game cinematics and the cutscenes and the fully animated scenes. So we're trying to fill the game with more of those, use them more
throughout.
Yes.
Instead of all up front.
I know they're not easy to animate such beautiful scenes, but there'll be a fair amount of this sort of as you play through the game.
Yeah, we've got a lot more scheduled. But the other thing we did is I watched about hundreds of hours of Let's Plays.
Right.
And Twitch and stuff, so we got a lot of the good feedback from the first one, and we're going to be changing some of the stuff going into this one.
Wow.
Yeah, in general, we're trying to tell more of the story through the battle. The battles are more cinematic. Things happen. There's more variety.
Certainly.
And then these are interspersed throughout, so it's
Awesome. Well, very, very cool. I know we're going to get a look at some of the gameplay here so we can see what it's like in action as people play through this. Now, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about sort of what we're going to see here as you guys walk us through sort of where we are in the game and how it's going to play.
This is the very beginning. It's sort of the intro tutorial, and you're going to see it's a lot more cinematic feeling than in the first one.
Right.
So it sort of sets up the scenario by showing you some cinematic battle before it lets the hero come onto the battle and join in.
Really, an incredible animation. That's the thing that people know. The cutscenes are great, but then we look in engine. This stuff is absolutely incredible.
Yep, that's all done by Powerhouse Animation in Austin.
These are all rotoscoped, hand rotoscoped animations.
That's me shooting the arrow.
Yeah. The actors are all us. I'm the dredge, so I'm the big guy.
That's what happens when you're indie. You get to sort of play put multiple hats on.
Or you get concussions doing the stunts.
So the biggest thing you'll see, there's a lot more combat variation. In the first one, a lot of people said, "Oh, the combat's great, we love it," but there wasn't enough variation.
Yeah.
And in this one, you're going to be seeing a lot more.
Absolutely. So as you play through this game, obviously, this perspective stays the same. But tell us, I mean, it's sometimes deceptive about, it looks so beautiful, but there's so much strategy to this game as well, right? I mean, tell us a bit about sort of the interface and what it's like as you play through this game.
Well, one of the two things that we have here is the strength and armor dynamics. Right. So you've got to whittle down somebody's armor before you hit them with strength. But each character also has one ability that they could do and a passive ability.
Okay.
And in this one, in Banner Saga 2, we're going to be introducing even more.
Right.
So we can't talk too deeply about that, but we've got I think we're up to 37 heroes now in the game, each one with unique abilities. So
unique animations.
The unique abilities really let the individual units have synergy with each other, so you can build up many combinations of strategy based on those those different.
Here's some example of dialogue, which everyone's fan of BioWare games will know. The idea.
And something that's really important is in the first one, all the decisions that you've made will carry over into this one as well.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're encouraging people to finish the first one.
Yes.
Shameless plug right now. We're on
Available
sale
now
on Steam,
Okay.
75% off.
Oh, wow.
So go
For the
get it,
rest of the
finish
day.
it before the Banner Saga 2 comes out.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, good Steam sale. That's always good to hear. We did a great Steam sale around the Game Awards. It did really well, so that's awesome. Well, the game looks great, and as you said, look at that. I mean, it's so beautiful what you guys are able to put together, and the music, obviously, with Austin Wintory and the team.
It's going to be another full orchestra doing the music as well.
Yeah. You guys are not skimping out on Banner Saga 2.
Yeah, right now we're in the West Hall showing off the games, so come by and play it.
Awesome, we definitely will. Well, guys, thanks so much, Stoic. Always good to have you guys with us. Thanks again for revealing it last year and coming by E3 Live. We've got so much more for you guys coming up as we lead into the PlayStation press conference. Some guests from Ubisoft are coming by, and of course, we've got Sony live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be an amazing press conference. A great start for the day with Xbox, and it's going to be a great end with PlayStation. But right now, let's head outside to Jackie to see what people are talking about on the internet.
Hello. Yes, we are about an hour away from the last of the big 4 press conferences, but right now everyone is talking about Mirror's Edge. So let's check out the E3 buzz. Jesse Cox says, look, I know I'm supposed to be thrilled about both Mirror's Edge and Madden, but mother flippin' Pele. Nick Pfister says, she doesn't need any guns. Sarah, you made me so happy when you spoke these words. Morgan Webb says, Mirror's Edge, Mirror's Edge. I imagine that's how he said it. I'm stoked for this game, obviously. And Danny K13 said, Banner Saga 2. I have no money to spend. Stop giving me things to buy. That seems to be a general trend today. Everyone's like, I want it all and I want it now. Let's see what's the top trends right now in games. Still at the top of our list, Star Wars Battlefront. Unravel, which we had a nice little preview of earlier today. Batman Arkham Knight, No Man's Sky, Kingdom Hearts, Last Guardian holding strong all day, and Xenoblade Chronicles 10. All right, Geoff, that is what's trending for now. We, of course, will be back with more in just a bit.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
We caught you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jackie. Just catching up with Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft, coming over from their press conference that we just watched about an hour ago. Yves, always great to see you here at E3, and congratulations on a big press conference, a big opening and a big close, and a lot of games in between.
Thank you.
So let's sort of go in order. First of all, Matt and Trey from South Park, they said after they finished Stick of Truth, we're never going to do a game again. It's so much work. Yet there they are on stage announcing that they're going to work with you guys on a whole new game for next-gen systems, right?
Yes, that's right. They loved it so much that they wanted to come back.
That's amazing. Now, I know it sounds like it's not going to be Obsidian, the team that made the old game, so there's a new team that's going to work on it?
Yes, it's a new team in San Francisco who is working on the game, and
wow.
It's a great team.
Okay, so they're a new Ubisoft studio, or?
It's part of the San Francisco studio,
wow.
But there are lots of people that came from all around on top.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it's good to have South Park back. Stick of Truth did pretty well for you guys?
Oh, it did extremely well.
Yeah, and those guys are so devoted. That's why when Trey came out, he won an award at my Game Awards last year, and they're so passionate about games, and it really shows through, on the show, but also inside the game.
Those guys play so much.
Exactly. You haven't beta test the other games. Get them in that Division beta. All right, so Yves, you always have a surprise, I feel like, at every press conference. It's sort of like you must think about it because you love to come out at the end and reveal something. And it's, Division a couple of years ago, I remember, Rainbow Six. This year, a new Ghost Recon, which was, I love how you revealed it because we didn't quite know what it was until the end. Game looks phenomenal, and that's coming from the studio in Paris?
Yes, it is the Paris studio doing it.
Wow.
And they have been working on it for quite a while now.
Yeah, so tell us about that. I mean, open world game, it seems like there were teases of, many players in the world together, which is something you guys have done for a few years, teasing games, having the multiplayer aspect. There are lots of open world games out there. What is unique about Ghost Recon? Why are you so excited about this game?
What is great is you will be able to play the game the way you want. So the systemic gameplay and the fact that this world is huge, you will be able to play it with the mood you want and with the people you want, and you will be able to share your experience because it will be very different from what the others' experiences will be.
Wow. Well, it looks like there's so much variety and such a cool vibe to that game. So will that be, obviously there'll be a big kind of multiplayer component to it.
Oh, yes.
Will there be campaign as well? Your friends can come in co-op, or?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. You will have all three. You will have co-op, you will have PvP, and you will have as you can see, a huge campaign.
It's absolutely amazing and beautiful, and it's cool to see where Ghost Recon has gone, because I think we all got used to sort of the future soldiers and the futuristic things. This feels very much rooted in reality. Is this present day, this game?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it looks amazing to see what you guys have put together here. So when is this going to come out? Have you said yet?
No, we didn't say yet.
Okay.
We need to give those guys the time.
Not this
they
year,
need.
I'm sure, right?
That's right. Not this year.
A little tease, and this will be at E3. Is this going to be playable? Will people be able to go and play it or check it out?
Not at E3, no.
Okay, but it's a little bit of a tease. But this is all real-time footage, you said, right?
It is, yes,
Wow.
exactly.
So and this is playable now.
And it is playable now, yeah, for sure.
You get to play it at home. We don't get to play it yet. But just amazing, visually, what you guys are able to do. So let's talk about the whole portfolio of Ubisoft games. Let's talk a bit about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I know you guys had some challenges last year with Assassin's Creed. This year, you're coming back with Syndicate. What did that whole experience last year, what did you guys learn from that, and how are you applying it this year to Syndicate?
We really learned that we had to allow a lot more time for polish, especially when we recreate completely the engine. That's what happened last year, and recreating everything there was quite a work, and the team worked very hard, but they didn't finish quite well, but we are working and using this new engine to go to the next.
Well, and also you guys, every year you do an Assassin's Creed, which is amazing, and sometimes these incredible DLCs in between. It is such a huge initiative for Ubisoft. Let me ask you, how many years out do you plan Assassin's Creed now? Do you know 4 or 5 years now, like what the theme is going to be, or how far out does the team plan?
I can't tell you. Actually,
you don't have to tell me what it is.
We have teams working, and really.
Do they also sometimes do like little prototypes and ideas, and they sort of there's a runoff about what idea is the best, or?
No, they really have
focused
already their ideas, but in fact, we have teams that are really taking the time and making sure that we can come with the best game.
Yeah, and I know this is first year Quebec City is leading this one, which is very exciting.
Yes.
First year's hasn't been Montreal, right, in the franchise history?
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's the first year those guys do the
It looks really cool. Now, I wanted to ask you about the Assassin's Creed movie as well, which is something that I know, I think it's taken over the Avatar slot at the end of 2016 for Fox. Michael Fassbender in that. It's been talked about for years. Is it really happening now, do you think?
So far so good.
Okay, great.
We are going to start shooting in September.
Oh, wow.
So everything is ready. So I hope we'll be able to give you more news
next
soon.
E3.
Yeah, very soon.
Now, do you think about that? Is that going to somehow tie back to the game and the franchise, or do you like it at sort of keeping it separate, like Batman has, games, has films? Is this going to somehow link together, do you think, with the games?
No, the goal is to link them together and make sure we in creating the scenario ourselves and work with all the Hollywood talents and make sure that we work also with the guys that created the games.
Yes.
Make all this universe coherent.
Wow. Well, that's great. I can't wait to see what you guys do with that, because I think it's such an important franchise, and sounds like it's going to be a big film and a big game. So congratulations on the great lineup across the board. Division, Rainbow Six, Assassins, Ghost Recon, South Park, and even crazy stuff from, when you saw what the guys are doing with the cat on the unicorn. It's like you can't.
You like that as well?
Oh, Auntie and those crazy guys over there at Red Links. You never know what to expect. Well, Yves, always great seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great E3, and thank you for coming by YouTube Live for the first time.
Thank you
Appreciate
for having
it.
us.
All right, thank you very much, Yves. All right, well, we've got much more coming up. The Assassin's Creed series has taken us to so many places over the years. And speaking of Assassin's Creed, now it's time to talk a little bit more about Syndicate. Our tour starts now with game director Scott Phillips. Scott, how are you?
Good.
Look at that. Yves Guillemot gets to introduce you here. We were just talking about it.
I thought he would go first, and it was great. He warmed everything up, so I think I'm ready.
Now we're ready to take a look at the game. So you're up in Quebec City.
Yeah, I've been up there, and I think there's a great team that's really super excited about our first Assassin's Creed.
All right, well, let's take a look at some footage here of Syndicate. Now, this game, I think, people love the sort of the tone and the vibe of it. We've had our top hats. When you guys first jumped into, London and this idea of the game, what was the unique flavor that you wanted this Assassins to have?
Well, this is the first modern Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So by bringing it to 1868 London, what we've allowed is new things like the horse and carriage, guns. You're really set in the era. So Assassin's Creed has always been about that sort of historical gameplay that you can experience that era. And so the Industrial Revolution really brought us to this era where there was both a very medieval society as well, and a little bit of London, but then you also have this very advanced center of the universe, London, that's bringing you new steam engines, trains, all sorts of advanced technology that really brings it into a new era that Assassin's Creed has never seen.
Now, Quebec City team this is the first one that you're leading. What is the spin from a gameplay perspective that you guys want to put on Assassins? Because we sort of have the tried and true tropes of Assassins, but now, I mean, there's so much possibility in this era in terms of the types of gameplay. What aspects do you think are going to be most unique to fans? Like, it used to be, well, we have, sea gameplay in one, or it's like, other types of things, vehicles. What can we expect in this one that you think is going to be new for Assassin's fans?
So I think the two biggest things would probably be the systemic vehicles.
Yeah.
So they're out throughout the entire city. You can hijack them. You can hide inside them. You can fight on top of them.
Wow.
They're integrated into all three of the pillars.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got the rope launcher, which allows you to scale the tallest buildings in London at the time, which are the biggest buildings ever in an Assassin's Creed, as well as go across our giant streets. So that structure of the city has really changed the flow and the feeling of the game, and really opened it up to be much more modern feeling than some of the very small cities in past AC games where it was very tight. We have a much bigger open city, and that rope launcher really allows you to get everywhere you want very quickly while using the parkour to also seamlessly move around the environment.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating what you guys have done visually with the game this year. And the engine, the graphics technology, feels like there's been sort of a revamp of that this year as well, too, right?
Well, it's definitely an improvement.
Yeah.
What we've done is take what Assassin's Creed Unity built as the first next-gen Assassin's Creed, and improved on that, as well as bringing in the vehicles. I mean, it really changes the way you have to build the game, because not only do you have the thousands and thousands of people that you have in Assassin's Creed Unity, but you also have these vehicles, hundreds of them, driving around the city at any time. So it's definitely a challenge, and we're really excited to bring this. It's the biggest thing for us is setting that 1868 London, taking over the city with your gang, which is the first time you're able to use a gang, and then all of our advanced technology like the rope launcher. It's really a very exciting game.
One thing I wanted to ask you about for Assassins, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but I used to love sort of the more modern day stuff with Desmond and whatnot, and the franchise has moved away from some of that. Do you guys, jumping through time and different time periods, is that going to factor at all into this game?
That's definitely at the core of the franchise and what it's about. We have those elements for sure. I'm definitely a fan of those. I've felt like the future narrative is the way to move things forward, since the past is already mostly set and you're reliving it. So we do move things forward in the overall story of the franchise, as well as bring some new characters, as well as some old favorites back.
Abstergo in there somehow?
There's definitely some old favorites and some new characters as well. So it really ties in the whole story.
All right, well, we can't wait to hear more about that Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Can you tell us when it's coming out?
It'll come out in October on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and we are playable at the Ubisoft booth at E3.
All right, well, we will come by and get hands-on with Syndicate. Thank you very much. We're going to head on outside again to check in with Jackie. Jackie, what's going on?
Hey, everyone is super stoked on Assassin's Creed and the fact that it's set in London and all sort of steampunky this year. So let's head to the E3 Buzz and see what they are talking about. Geek Paragon says, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where the Illuminati convinced the Woolwich scum to move to North London. Confirmed. Con JMK says Assassin's Creed Syndicate is so immersive, you could actually smell the charity shops and kebab houses of London through your console. Oh, if only that were true. K-Star1785 said Unravel is just too adorable. We heard a little bit more about that earlier, this whole E3 yarn theme. Got hands-on with the game and absolutely loved it. And Leon Henry is talking about Ghost Recon. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is Ubisoft's new open-world bang-bang shoot stuff game. And nobody is mad about that. All right, let's take a look at what's trending along the big three. It's been looking good all day. We're almost up to 100,000 tweets, and that's only in the last 3 to 4 hours, and that's on all three of the big consoles, PS4, Nintendo, and Xbox One. And everything we've been talking about today is still to the tip of everyone's tongues. Assassin's Creed, Star Wars Battlefront, Mario, Wii U, and of course, we still have one more conference to go in not too long, so there's going to be plenty more to take a look at. So we will send it back to Geoff in the studio.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jackie. One of the biggest announcements at today's Ubisoft press conference was For Honor reveal. And here to dig a little deeper into this new IP is Ubisoft creative director Jason Vandenberg. So Jason, up in Montreal, the team has been working away on this game.
Oh, yes.
Lots of rumors about what you guys were working on, but today you had live code on stage, lots of people playing it.
Yes.
So tell us about the concept for this game. Where did this come from inside of Ubisoft?
The game actually came from this long desire I've had to play a game like this.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Honestly, the inception of this was honestly it's about 10, 12 years ago. I was walking down the sidewalk, leaving this training I was taking in Longsword. I started thinking about controllers, and I started thinking about how we could do sword fighting. I started thinking about the right stick, and now the gameplay sort of came together. 10 years later, I found this incredible
A decade
team.
ago.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And now it's coming to life, and it's amazing. It's amazing to be here.
Tell us a bit about the idea of mashing all these sort of worlds and warriors together. I mean, it feels so fresh to me, but in the gameplay, what is it like? I mean, it's obviously, is it geared just for multiplayer?
It is based on multiplayer,
Okay.
but it's really the goal is to to give you a controller scheme that lets you play as that warrior, lets you really fight a duel, make you believe that you're engaged in that.
Right.
We picked the Knights, the Vikings, and the Samurai, of course, because those are the three great legacies of history, right? Those are the things, and who wouldn't want to see that battle, right? That fight is amazing.
No, and I love that it feels very rooted in reality. It's not fantastical in any way. I mean, it's what's real. So when you put your hands on the controller, you had a bunch of people there playing together. So these are sort of, how many players will be together?
That's 4v4.
4v4.
The mode we got on the floor is Dominion, is 4v4.
Okay, so really 4v4, you guys all jump in together, and you can pick sort of whatever character you want.
You can pick what hero you like.
Okay.
Each faction has its own set of heroes you can select. A hero is a weapon and a suit of armor and then sort of a style, and then you can customize those a little bit, and then you run the battlefield and start fighting.
Now, are these sort of set up as like a series of skirmishes, or I mean, do you put levels together, or how do you play through in it?
It's a match. It's a match. Yeah. Dominion lasts about 8 to 10 minutes long, and it's you're taking capture points in the field, and you're defending them against the other players who are trying to take them from you.
Wow, I love it because it feels so different from a multiplayer game in terms of how it actually looks and plays, and I'm sure that's partially by design, right?
It's the whole thing. The center of the innovation, what we're bringing you is this thing we call the art of battle, which is the way it works in the controller, right? You're driving with the left stick around, and when you see someone you want to fight, you're going to pull in that left trigger and lock.
Okay.
And then when you lock, your right stick becomes your stance. Okay. So your weapon is, you're holding it to the right, or to the left, or to the top.
I see.
And when you're holding your weapon, that's where you're blocking. So if I'm holding top and you attack me top, I'll block.
I see. So this is something where you see in the footage, you really need to go hands-on, I guess, to really understand how this scheme works,
Which is why we're here on the floor
with
100% playable, open to the public demo. We got 16 pods on the show floor at E3. Everybody to come and play it, because you got to put your hands on it to really get how it's working.
So tell us about upgrading these characters over time. I mean, when you jump in, are you going to be able to sort of kind of gear up your hero?
Yeah, we'll have a progression as you play. As you play through each hero you play, you'll be able to switch as you like, and each hero will have their own progression, a set of customizations and that sort of thing you can enhance, and then modify your gameplay in certain ways. And then you'll have, of course, sort of an overall progression that you're playing through. We'll talk more about that stuff in the months and years to come.
So you have 4v4. Will there be a traditional kind of offline campaign for this game?
Yes. We'll have an offline. We'll have a campaign that will focus. Give you that feeling of being that warrior, right? But in a whole different environment. We really want that part to be its own reason to play, right? But we're not gonna be talking so much about that this year. This year we really just wanted to put the controller in your hands and
feel this control scheme.
Yeah, and show you guys and make first contact and see if it works. We've been playing it for so long, right? I mean, we really want to see what people react to. It's a whole new way to fight. We think it's a whole new kind of game, and we just need to validate that, right?
Well, no, he's right. When you're trying to introduce a new control scheme for multiplayer, people are always used to like sitting down. It's like, oh, this plays just like Halo. This plays just like Call of Duty. This obviously is something completely new.
It doesn't play like very much else.
And there's no first-person mode, right? This is all third-person.
It's all third person.
That's very, very cool. So tell me, when you guys are jumping into the game now, do you have a favorite amongst the different classes?
I am definitely a knight. The character we've got here on the floor today is the Warden. They're the sort of the classical knight, and I love that character. I mean, part of my desire to make this game and sort of work on it from the first place comes from just my long-standing love of all of that, that form of history and all those legends that grow out of that, right? So it's easy for me. Of course, everyone on my team has chosen a different faction, and that rivalry is fantastic, actually.
Well, it sounds like you're just having a lot of fun playing with this thing. How many years have you guys been working on this?
We've been working on it for quite a few. It's been a couple years now.
Right.
It's been a long development. A lot of
iteration, I'm sure.
Iteration, exactly, because
right?
we really need to find out how that thing worked, but we did that through hundreds and hundreds of different versions of the game, and really constantly, always from the beginning, forcing ourselves to build the game, get it up and running, make sure it was running over a network, make sure it was just always working with the constraints we knew we were going to use, and then just testing it with real people, and then iterate. So
awesome.
Whereas this is the next big step in our cycle.
Yeah, well, it's a very public way to be at the press conference and have people go hands-on with it at E3.
Super
Jason, thank you
here.
so much. I'm happy to see that you guys are doing something brand new up in Montreal like this, and
that's my
can't
pleasure.
wait to play it tomorrow and let you know what I think.
Come on down.
Awesome. All right,
Can't wait to hear it.
Thank you very much, Jason. All right, well, joining us now for a little insight into Sword Coast Legends is game director Dan Tudge. Dan, great to see you. How's
good to see you
everything?
again.
My fellow Canadian, come on down here and let's talk about Sword Coast Legends. So, this is a game that will be at E3. You guys have been working really hard on it, I know. Tell us, what can we expect from it?
Well, today we're going to show you, we're going to show this week, we're going to show campaign creation, which is probably the most exciting feature of the whole thing. With Sword Coast Legends, you get to play as a dungeon master with 4 other players, and I think creating those stories and those campaigns is really what the heart of the whole thing is for us.
Yeah. All right, so we got some gameplay up here. Tell us about the team and what you guys have been building with this. It's obviously looks great. It looks a lot of detail to the animation. But as you play through, what's the experience going to be like?
Well, this is very much built on the legacy of all the great D&D RPG classics, so Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights and Icewind Dale, and for many of us, we came from BioWare and actually joined up with N-Space, so you're going to see a lot of those games there, and games like Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah. I mean, the legacy of the team, as you said, is very tried and true with this. As you play through it, the experience of it. I mean, tell us about sort of the as you play through it, some of the abilities you're going to have as you play through this game.
So you've got pause and play. So it's party-based tactical. You've got pause and play. Now, if you're playing with yourself, you've got companions that you've met along the way, and you control those much as you would in Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights. You pause the action and that. And if you're playing multiplayer, which is something we've added, you've brought in real people from outside the world, within the world, and you're playing with them cooperatively.
All right, how many players will it support?
5, and the 5th being the Dungeon Master.
DM. Yeah, cool. So that must be fun to be the DM, and just like people like from Baldur's Gate and whatnot. This game, where's it in development right now?
We're about 3.5 months off from completion. We're getting really close. Yeah.
So we'll see it later this summer or fall.
Yes, you'll see it September 8th on PC and later in the year on consoles.
Oh, great! So it's going to come to consoles as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, it looks very cool. Sword Coast Legends. It's nice to see D&D coming back in a big way for fans, and PC's the place to start because
that's
right. A lot of fans
very
there.
much so.
Dan, thank you very much for the sneak peek at Sword Coast Legends. We've got much more coming up, but right now, for another exclusive here on YouTube Live at E3, joining us with the world premiere live demo of Below is another Canadian. We've got lots of Canadians here. We've got Dan, and now we've got Nathan from Cappy. Nathan, good to see you. My fellow Torontonian. I grew up in Toronto. People don't know that.
Born and raised, man.
I know. Lots of good stuff. So Below.
Yep.
We heard about this 2 years ago, I
2
think,
years ago
at the
on
Xbox
stage.
E3 briefing with Phil Spencer wearing his Below shirt, I think.
Cappy
right?
shirt.
Cappy shirt,
Yeah,
that's right.
I think he's actually going to be wearing a Below shirt on stage when he comes to do your show. Right, Phil? Yeah?
Oh, it's Phil? Yeah, Phil's
he's
coming in?
saying no.
All right,
He's shaking his
we'll
head
see.
no.
Oh, there's Phil Spencer right there. He doesn't have the Below shirt on. All right.
I'm just
nice
pulling his
try.
chain.
He
I know.
probably has
I
a whole,
know. I'm clowning
whole
on
drawer
him.
of them. All right, so Nathan, Below, I'm excited about this because we haven't seen it in a little while.
Yeah,
and you wanted to come by and show something new.
We kind of went dark for a little bit when we realized, like, okay, we need to get down to the guts of the game, figure out really what we're trying to do with it. And that was kind of the last year. I think we showed it at PAX the last time. Yeah. And now we're going to show a whole bunch of new stuff at E3 2015. And no one's actually seen it except for a couple of fans who got to sneak into the Microsoft Fan Showcase. So Below is a game about exploration. Yeah. It's always been the kind of central theme of the game. And you get to play as this little wanderer arriving at an island with kind of no set goals, no tutorials, no dialogue. We just kind of hand you a controller and let you learn all about it as you play. The game's very dark, and your lantern is a very important piece of it. Yeah. And also finding fire is extremely important as well. Not only because fire provides light, and that's super important, but also because you can actually go in and craft soups in the game. And soups are kind of our potions. They let you stave off hunger, they let you deal with thirst, they let you deal with health. Because all of those things are super important because you're just going to die a heck of a lot. The game's totally inspired by roguelikes and dungeon crawling. So the way that you play the game is you hop in, sword and shield combat, probably going to die, learn a bit about it, come back in. And because the game is so exploration focused, we're actually letting it letting the players kind of define their own story. There is a story to the game. We've written it all out, but we're not telling any of it through text or dialogue. It's all there in the world for players to find.
Wow. Well, I mean, you guys are known for incredible art style, music, and just the ambiance of the world.
I think so too. But that's Jim Guthrie, who did the soundtrack for Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery, is back working with us again on the soundtrack for Below. Super exciting. I mean, we call him the maestro. He's our favorite dude. So it's a great collaboration. We're super happy to be working with him again.
So tell us about, I mean, it seems like there's so many environments to this game, and it feels like it's a little claustrophobic at first, right? Yeah. And I guess that's by design?
For sure. And the whole game is built around this camera angle, the fact that you're kind of zoomed out. And there is a little bit of zooming in when you're in combat, so you can see a little more.
Right.
But you start off in kind of a more natural world on an island, and then you end up going through some caves with kind of natural flora and fauna, dogs and bats, and then as you explore, you end up climbing down huge cliffs into new areas like the catacombs that we're showing here. This is a new area that we've never shown before.
Yeah.
And you're actually fighting against weird humanoid creatures that they're actually part of a cult.
It's just so cute. It's so like twisted but cute because I mean, it's just the fidelity of the animation is incredible when you're in these big combat zones. So tell me, I mean, the character obviously as you go through the game, you're going to continue to progress and upgrade. So what does this game look like, at hour 10?
Well, the interesting thing about it for us is that we're not trying to build an RPG experience. We're trying to build an experience that the player learns about the game entirely through surviving, through exploring, and definitely through discovery in general. So you might find new weapons. That's how you upgrade. You might be able to figure out how to craft better items, how to craft stronger soups that will actually help you delve deeper. But there's no hit point increases, there's not any kind of level ups or any of that. It's all about surviving. And that learning is the kind of, it sounds super hokey, but learning is the way that you level up in the game. You explore, and you're actually building upon lives, right? You're not playing just one character over and over and over again. You're playing a sequence of wanderers arriving at the island and building off of the lives that have come before it. So if you achieve a goal, maybe you find a special item but die partway down, that item stays with your corpse. You got to go find that corpse if you actually want to retrieve that item, or you can choose to ignore it, go down a completely different path. And this is all being procedurally generated. Every time you start the game, it builds an entirely new dungeon with entirely new levels. I mean, we're super stoked. We're really happy to be at E3 showing it at the Microsoft booth. They've been huge supporters of this game since the very beginning.
Phil Spencer's standing right beside you. Right?
I would have said that if he wasn't here, but it does help that he's here because he gets to see it and hear it also.
Big fan. Exactly. He's watching live demo. Well, the game looks incredible. I know you guys have been working on it for a long time. This year, next year, when do we think?
We're really pushing for this year. Okay. If it slips, it'll be very early 2016.
You're too busy working on that Shu Yoshida.
Also, Time Force is here
Time
as well.
Force, exactly. You guys got a busy E3. Something with each platform, right? I mean, you're agnostic like that.
We love that that's possible in video games as an independent developer right now, that a studio like ours, 10 years in, can be working with a whole bunch of amazing partners who are super supportive.
Wow, you guys are an amazing studio, do some great stuff. Nathan, thank you so much for coming by YouTube E3 Live. YouTube Live at E3 is presented by our friends at Grand Mercy Pictures and their new sci-fi action thriller, Selfless. God created man, man created immortality. Selfless opens July 10th. Now let's take a quick look at Selfless.
I'm dying.
Over the last 6 months, they sold him a second chance. We offer a new body, engineered for perfection.
And you can have all of this. Money in the car's clothes, you can have all of this.
But he's about to discover
something's wrong.
Someone else
thought you were dead.
Paid the price.
Daddy!
There is no progress without sacrifice. Selfless, rated PG-13.
If you're with us this morning, and many of you were, millions of you, you saw the Microsoft briefing for Xbox One, and it was an incredible show. I said earlier that it was, I think, the best briefing that Xbox has done in its history. And joining us now to bring us up to speed on everything Xbox is doing is the man you saw many times this morning, Xbox P3, Phil Spencer. Phil, how are things?
Things are good. Yeah, it was a great feeling to get the conference to start it, have the work that the teams are doing show up. Yeah. See the fans on the floor. I mean, that moment when we announced back compat, I thought the roof was going to come off the Galen. It was fantastic.
And you're also doing a really cool thing this week, Xbox Fan Fest, where you had 500 fans that lined up in Century City to get passes, not only to the press conference, get to the party, they get to go to E3.
Yeah.
And that's Xbox Nation, right?
Well, I thought Todd Howard said it really well at the Bethesda event last night. This is the best week in entertainment. And you bring the fans in and the passion that they have. And I'm not into the platform thing, or just like gamers.
Right.
And wanting to experience E3. It's great. I was just over at the Fan Fest. They're all playing the games, playing Cappy's game, which is great. I'm a big fan of theirs. But, having the fans on the floor, having them here at E3, this is what it should be about.
So out of all the things you talked about this morning, what was most important to you? I mean, you guys spend months sort of thinking about what you're going to talk about, what you're not going to talk about.
As you know.
Yes, and you debate it. But I mean, everything seemed to land really well. Lots of great games on stage. Was there anything that meant the most to you this morning?
For me, the 30th year of Rare was something that was remarkable. To be a game studio for 30 years. I thought the Rare Replay, or the games that they've been working on over the years on so many different platforms, and then leading right into a brand new IP, something that they're building from the ground up, was a great opportunity. But, opening with Halo 5, we have such a strong exclusive lineup this fall, mixed with the great third-party games. But the Rare moment for me was kind of special, just to have known that studio for such a long time.
Well, and I think people are really excited that they're back to doing, real sort of, games for gamers.
Yeah, it was gave them the reins and said, you guys build what you want to build. Greg Males, who I've known for years, is there. Craig Duncan running the studio.
Right.
There's just a great opportunity to have the creativity that Rare has built over the 30 years and then look forward on what they want to make on gaming.
Absolutely. We talked about Halo. Josh Holmes was here earlier. That game looks phenomenal. Gears 4, Rod Ferguson's going to be by as well. That's going to be coming out. So that'll be a big game for next holiday for you guys, right?
Next holiday looks fantastic when we start looking at the lineup. I'm excited about getting to Gamescom and getting to show Scalebound and Quantum Break and Crackdown.
Those all going to be in 2016?
We haven't announced dates for all of them yet, but I mean, the lineup next year is looking incredibly strong when we look at those games. And some of them actually might come a little earlier than that. But it's
some of them might even come this year?
Time. Well, before next E3.
Okay.
Some of them maybe. Games got to be right before we ship it.
You guys do have a lot of amazing sort of first-party titles across the spectrum. As you said, the fact that you could have Scalebound, Crackdown, and Quantum Break not even at E3.
Yeah.
And that was a strategic decision to kind of wait and give them their own stage?
Yeah, like Recore, our first time working on a first-party game with Inafune-san is something I wanted to show on stage here. Yeah. He was in the audience. It was great to be able to do that. But yeah, the first party, obviously, as the old first party guy, is really important to me. But at the same time, we had Todd on our stage, and Todd Howard has such a history with Xbox. And we'll still have Call of Duty and Destiny and Star Wars Battlefront. We'll have great third party games and the mix of the first party games. It's just what Xbox gamers want.
Right. Let's talk about some of the things that I know you guys were just talking about on the Daily Show, which is the new Xbox, the Xbox Live interface and how that's being updated. I know you guys didn't show that this morning, but you guys continue to improve the platform as well?
Yeah, our focus has really been around performance. Yeah. Like letting people do the things that they want to do on the platform quickly. And I thought we had some real improvement that we could make. I think people will see it this week. The changes there, the common tasks are about 50% faster for people on the dash. And that's important. I'm on our dash, as people know, almost every day, playing games, interacting with people. And there are just certain things I thought we could make better. And the team has stepped up, just like they did with backward compatibility. And I like the looks of the new UI.
One thing that I think people were speculating about, just naturally as they do, is at what point you might redesign the Xbox One, make a smaller one, improve other elements of it. You didn't talk about that at E3. Is that something that's on the roadmap?
Yeah, I think when you look at the full generation, you always see redesigns of the hardware. I expect we will do the same. But when I think about what gamers really need out of the box right now, it's the form factor. It probably isn't the number one request of, hey, can we do something with the plastic? It's more about the experience, the service, and the games. So that's where I've decided to focus the energies of the team, and I like the way it shows up. But yeah, I mean, over a generation, you'd expect that there will be enhancements made to the industrial design of the box itself.
Right. And you also have that cool new controller, which is definitely for the core. And it's interesting that, now Xbox has really pivoted in a way where it's like that's for the core, whereas, years ago it was much broader focus about Kinect and things like that. Kinect, people still have it. There's some examples you had in the briefing where people could, call out to get a screenshot taken and things like that. As a platform for Kinect, I mean, are you putting resources against designing games content for Kinect, or is that sort of passed over?
No, we have lots of engineers that work on the Kinect functionality to support third parties and the games that are developed with Kinect. So it's an important investment for us in making sure the platform's great. The technology that's in HoloLens is similar. It's actually the same team that does the back-end technology around gesture and voice. So there's a lot of investment in that space. And I think actually as HoloLens gaming take off, you might see more games coming to Xbox that are Kinect, just as people get more adept at using motion and voice.
So HoloLens, you had a really cool Minecraft demo
like
there. I think, yeah, looked cool. But I just wonder, like, is that, you know, the game aspect of it, and HoloLens, I know it's still like in the Windows 10 timeframe. When are people gonna be able to get a HoloLens or start to experience it? Is it this year?
We haven't announced the date. We're really focused on the experiences. We know we need to get the experiences right before we think about date and price and other things that people ask. That's what's been great about having the Mojang team work with. This is Sax, who's on the team, and Lydia, who's on the team. You know, this is experience to me felt authentic to Minecraft and authentic to HoloLens. We need to land those. And having the first-party team partnered with the platform team is just a unique opportunity. And I love this demo. I just thought it
it's amazing. Well, and that's the thing is, you guys do such a great job the way you film this, because it's sort of the camera sees it and you sort of imagine what this person is seeing in their eyes. Exactly.
Building right now. The camera itself is a feat in getting that camera to work. But I mean, this is what Sax is seeing. He's obviously on the other side, but you know, he sees that same perspective when he looks at the table. And again, for a property like Minecraft, for a game like that, it just seems very natural.
Absolutely. So is that something that will work with my Xbox One?
No, that is a native. HoloLens is an untethered device. The computing is in the HoloLens itself.
So you don't have to talk to the Xbox One or connect up to potentially. Like, I'm just thinking of an idea if I could have, you know, playing Halo and I could have my HoloLens on and my controller and I could have like augmented things around it.
We've been working on that. And in fact, there's some demos that we were looking at showing around what we can put around a television if you have a HoloLens on. On stage, it was going to be kind of hard to do, but there's a good roadmap of things for Xbox customers if they own a HoloLens and how those two will collaborate. But this is HoloLens standalone running Minecraft in the Veil itself.
Wow, well, it's amazing. And you guys had a great lineup of content across the board for Xbox fans. We'll look forward to seeing some more playable stuff on the show floor.
Yes.
And a big holiday, the best holiday in Xbox history, you're saying?
I think so. Like, we have Gears, Forza, Fable, Halo, Call of Duty. I mean, you look at the lineup first and third party, it's an incredible time to be a gamer.
That's what I mean. This week, it's been across the board today. It's been amazing. I think Sony's going to have good stuff, too.
Sure,
everyone's going to have across the board. It's pretty exciting to see HD console gaming in the state it is right now.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, people were asking, do people need consoles? Now they're both selling incredibly well, and the content is fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Phil, you've done an amazing job, really, you know, reinvigorating. I know everyone at Xbox is really excited about where the platform's at, and I think the fans, as you saw, are really excited about a lot of the content. So we look forward to seeing you at E3. Congratulations again.
Thanks,
Great briefing. Phil Spencer. All right, well, now it's time to take a look at the very first trailer for the just announced Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Check it out.
This is going to be awesome.
All right, joining us now to dive a little deeper into Gears 4, studio manager for the Coalition, Rod Ferguson. So, Rod, two things you announced earlier today.
Yep.
We've got Gears in August, and then Gears 4. Just Gears of War 4 or Gears 4?
For E3 in the tease, it's Gears 4, but the actual product will be Gears of War 4.
Gears of War 4, and that'll be coming holiday of 2016.
Correct.
All right, so let's talk a bit about Gears 4. You are obviously a veteran of the Gears franchise, now up in Vancouver.
Right.
And, you know, Phil, I think, tasked you with sort of bringing Gears back to life. You've been through the history of Gears. I don't think you worked on the last one that People Can Fly did, but or maybe you worked on a little bit of it. But what did you want, you know, when you think of Gears of War, what do you want Gears of War to stand for moving forward?
Well, we wanted to sort of stand on its own. I mean, that was one of the things that I really brought when I came to the studios. A lot of things that as you were going through and you've done 3 versions that a studio you've been on for 7 years, we started to look at like, you know, what else can we kind of do with it? And you sort of lose a little bit of its luster, and then you see the success of other games. You go like, hey, should we chase that? Should we chase this? And one of the things that really stood up in front of that team when I went up there to Vancouver was like, lead, don't follow. And so let's really embrace what Gears is. And maybe that means that we have a slightly smaller audience, but what it it means is we have much more deep in the passion. I mean, you see that. I mean, how many more fans could you have with tattoos, right? So, so it's that sort of feeling is just like embrace what Gears really is instead of trying to chase other people.
Now, obviously, we're looking at amazing footage of how the game is going to play. Tell us, I mean, the experience of Gears 4. What is the story? I mean, since how does this fit into the Gears universe?
Oh, well, we're not saying anything really about Gears 4.
Okay.
So basically, it's what you saw is what you get. I mean, one thing we've mentioned is that the female character in the demo wasn't really, or in the tease was not really identified, and so we're letting people know she's called Kate.
Okay.
K-A-I-T, and so it's JD and Kate are the two characters. But yeah, it kind of is what it is. It's a teaser to kind of get people interested and understand that, and the fact that I was playing it live on stage and probably visibly shaking because there's several points of failure in that demo. Yeah. But yeah, so it's kind of is what it is, and so now we're really focused.
So that's not going to be Gears 4. People won't be playing at E3 or anything like that.
No, right now it's all about Ultimate Edition.
Okay. Cool.
So we announced the beta today.
Yep.
We've got it in the booth, and so people can go and play it. It's sort of this modernized Gears 1 multiplayer where it's sort of the best of Gears 1 plus sort of all the refinements that we could bring in from the other games that followed it.
That's very cool. And now with the backwards compatibility announcement, does that mean we're going to be able to play all our old Gears games too?
Time will tell, but yeah, that definitely is sort of where you could see that going.
Exactly. Well, it's so cool to see what you guys are doing with the Gears franchise. Obviously, 4 is going to be big. You've got another year and a half on that. But Ultimate Edition, you're overseeing that as well at Coalition?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of kind of, I oversee sort of everything that's going on over there, but we have a great team, and executive producer Mike Crump is making sure that's taken home and driven correctly. But yeah, I'm sort of just going to keep my foot in and helping sort of direct what we wanted out of the cinematics and what I felt was important to the fans, and sort of just sort of making sure we were staying true to what Gears 1 was.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like there'll be much more coming from the Coalition in the year ahead. So Gears 4, we got the tease. We'll get a little more information down the road, I guess, on what that's going to be. But how will it, do you see this as like the start of a new trilogy? Or, I mean, how do you view Gears 4? Is it a reboot of the franchise, or?
Yeah, I think to me it's a new beginning. So what that means in terms of endings, I don't know, but it definitely represents to us a new beginning. And I think I like this idea of sort of delivering the first at its best. This idea of going back to the roots and sort of getting that audience caught up on where it all started, and then being able to have sort of this new start with Gears 4.
Yeah, it's exciting time, and you're definitely the right guy to do it.
Oh,
so, has Cliffy B tweeted you his reaction yet?
I've seen a couple of his reactions, so and it's good.
What did he say? Is he in?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely excited to see us get on stage. I don't think we had a lot of fans going like, bring Rod out already. Like at the closing of the show, I think it was a little bit tense for some people. But yeah, I mean, overall, Cliff and others have had a really great reaction to it.
Awesome. All right. Well, Rod, great to see you. We will hope to see you again soon with more on Gears 4 and Ultimate Edition we can check out in August, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks very much. Over to you, Jackie, to see what's happening in the social sphere.
Yes, let's head on over to the E3 buzz where everyone is talking about For Honor at the moment. The Strippin said, For Honor is chivalry's good-looking son. I am in. So Hinky said, can't wait to try that game tomorrow. Hashtag For Honor. Merck said, buying the heck out of that game. I don't know what that looks like, but we'll give it a go. Jessica Chobot, who we had in the studio earlier, said, I cried a little during the HoloLens Minecraft demo, though, Xbox E3. I think we all kind of did. Suicidal Steve said, fantastic seeing all those games from YouTube E3 with Geoff Keighley. Top-notch stuff. I don't know how Geoff does it. He is a machine all day long. And Ants Kick says, all I gotta say is Gears of War on HoloLens would equal a mind-blowing experience. Xbox One should change to Xbox WON. I think we all sort of got a little bit drooly, and then Phil Spencer didn't give us any sort of release date on that, but we wait with bated breath. Looking at our top trends right now, Star Wars Battlefront has been in the lead all day long. As I mentioned earlier, these numbers were reset a few hours ago to sort of even the playing field halfway through the day. Unravel is something that people are super stoked on. 481 tweets in the last few hours. Batman Arkham, Kingdom Hearts, No Man's Sky, and always at the bottoms, and Last Guardian. As always, this YouTube Lives at E3 What's Trending update is presented to you by Gramercy Pictures Selfless, starring Ryan Reynolds, in theaters July 10th. And also, we're about 15 minutes away now from the final conference of the day, the Sony press conference. So make sure you send us all your questions, what you're excited about, what you're not excited about, at hashtag YouTube E3 and at YouTube Gaming. And now we're going to send it back to the couch, where Geoff is with who?
Back and forth, Jax. That's right, 15 minutes until PlayStation. I can't wait for that. But hot on the heels of this morning's huge announcement, here is Rare studio head Craig Duncan to tell us about more about Rare Replay. So, Craig, Phil Spencer was just here talking about how he said to you guys, in important history, 30 years of Rare. Replay is, the game that I think a lot of fans wanted to see. We saw a really cool teaser, sort of in the press conference, very dramatic about how it's revealed. But I just want to ask you about, how's this thing play? Yeah. So is it just a library of all of the old games remastered? Or?
It's every one of your gaming memories that in the way that you want to remember them. So I think, a studio like Rare, 30 years, I mean, our industry is barely 30 years old. Yeah. Different eras of Rare games have touched different players in different ways, and everyone has their favourites. Mine was as a 13-year-old teenager playing Battletoads. Like that was just my era of gaming.
Wow.
And but equally, I can share games that were made in the 80s and 90s with my 12-year-old son that just can't even comprehend why there would be a sprite-based game called Snake Rattle and Roll that's difficult and complex. And what we've done is try to recreate these in the way you would remember them, but then add, cheat modes, and we've got this great feature where you can rewind the gameplay. So, games were tough back then, and when you kind of get stuck, you can rewind and go back.
I didn't know that's just a rewind feature. We can go back in any game.
In any game where we, so anything up to our 360 era games, basically.
Oh wow. That's really cool, because I imagine, remastering them is, not an easy task, and bringing them up. Did you guys do that all at Rare? Did you work with a bunch of studios?
We done most of the work at Rare. We worked with a couple of outsourced companies to do some of the tech work, and I think with that, we sat as a studio a year ago, and it's kind of funny just seeing everything realised now, and we said, a year from now, 30th anniversary. So what do we want to do? How are we going to celebrate? And we could do a film, we could do a documentary, which actually a ton of documentary footage went into Rare Replay. So there's origin stories of all the games.
I didn't know that. So you have video footage of
video footage, developer interviews of current staff, ex-staff.
Stampers in it?
Stampers aren't in it, but we did have Greg Mills. Greg Mills went out and showed the build to those guys, and they sent us a lovely kind of message just in terms of really liked the way we'd done the engineering and the creativity. Yeah. And it's just a celebration of 30 years of gaming. It's a celebration of everything Rare's done.
And not bad for $30. That's a great package.
$30 or £20 in the UK, and it's a phenomenal value proposition. But we really wanted to, we almost treated it as a gift, and we just wanted to say, hey, what better way of celebrating Rare's 30th is just give the whole kind of behind the curtain of 30 great games that Rare's made over 3 decades.
Really smart that you guys are doing that, and I'm sure people are going to love to jump into it. So when is it going to come out?
So it's out August 4th.
Okay.
So very soon. So some of the team are here on the show floor, chatting and demoing various games to people and letting people play and get hands-on. Right. The other members of the team are finishing up and just adding those last bits of polish as we get it finished.
And also working on something new, right?
Yeah. So again, if I think back to a year ago and we said, we're going to show up at E3, we're going to celebrate our 30th, and we're going to announce a new IP. And then we did that this morning. Yes. And so one of the biggest days in Rare's history, hugely excited.
How big is the team working on the new IP?
It's 2/3, 3/4 of the studio.
Wow. Okay.
So we're about 120-person studio.
Okay. This is a big initiative. I mean, graphically, it looks incredible, and I can't wait to see where you guys go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tease. It's our first reveal. To use the pirate analogy, it's the first clue to the treasure hunt that is Sea of Thieves.
Here, you guys showed off this morning. So this is a game that is. Obviously not this year, it's much further out. But
I mean, it was really us saying, hey, this is what Rare's working on. We do have, we definitely wanted to show and not tell. So what you're seeing is real in-engine gameplay footage. Yeah. Every player that's moving there is controlled by someone using a controller. And it's really about, we want to show when we've got things to show. Yeah. So, later on this year, we'll have some more things to show, and we can't wait to do that. We do have a notorious skeleton pirate in our studio at Rare called Captain Bones. So if people want to tweet Captain Bones at the Ask Captain Bones handle,
you may get some insight into what this game is all about.
He will share. He's a bit power mad, so he thinks it's his game, but it's not. It's our game. But please tweet him, and he'll give you some insight.
Well, it feels like it's definitely going to be somewhat whimsical, which is what we like from Rare. It seems like tease some multiplayer elements as well, right?
Yep. There's, I mean, as I said in my setup to the video. It's a shared world adventure game. We want players to play it in their own way. It is a multiplayer game. You've seen gamer tags in there. They were real play sessions that we did in the studio that we captured for our E3 reveal.
Well, it's cool. It's great to see Rare back stronger than ever, and we can't wait to see where you guys go. Craig, thank you so much for coming by.
Cheers. Thank you, Geoff.
YouTube E3 Live. All right. Well, next up, we've got another exclusive, the worldwide premiere trailer that you've never seen until now. I'm not sure what game it is, but let's check it out. There it was, the world premiere. I'm joined by Patrice Desilets, the co-founder and creative director of Panache Digital Games, to tell us more about Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Patrice, many years ago we talked and you said, I'll have it exclusive for you one day. There it is, the first in-game footage of your title that you've been working on, and we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you. So I kept my promise.
Yes, you did, as you always do. I remember years ago we hung out in Montreal when you were working on Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. And I said to you, knew you were destined for greatness, Assassin's Creed, birthing that, and now this, your brand new franchise. So tell us about this game. It's a very moody piece. We got a little glimpse at the end. What kind of game is this going to be?
Well, that's a good question. I'm still in conception. So it's weird for me to be at E3 and doing announcement while we're still building the studio, the team, and the game.
But you have a footage. It looks like you have an amazing engine. Is this a third-person action game?
Yeah. It's a third-person action adventure game like I've done in the past. And now it's all about reliving the key moment, this time of scientific moment.
So are we going to be jumping through time and different time periods?
We start 5 million years ago.
Yes.
With our first ancestors called the Ororin.
Yes.
And we start from there, and it's all about being there. And there's not this time this meta story around it yet.
Right. Okay.
And we're thinking about doing kind of like a episodic, for the lack of a better word.
Right.
It's this idea of having a
different little mini adventures.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the key moment is like the first time when.
Yes.
So today we just showed you the first time when we stood up.
Yes.
And
so that was that what that shot was, the first
exactly.
time.
And then that changed the entire history. And then the first time when we took fire and used fire. The first time we
were on the moon or flight.
Yeah, but that would be much later on.
Lots in the trailer.
Yes. And it's all about surviving.
Yes.
Also.
Okay. So the idea is you'll have sort of an adventure will be set in one time period. That's what you'll get.
But we go forward in time.
So in one episode, would it be sort of the episode of this year, or you'd have multiple years in every episode?
See, and I'm designing the thing. So
I'm sorry,
at first it's like it's you in 5 million years ago, and then we'll go 4 million years, and then maybe I'll throw some curveball at you while we're designing.
Then we'll jump to the future.
Because it's all about creating and putting it out there this time, not building a 45 hours thing. And you have to wait. This time, it's as soon as we got something ready, we'll put it out.
Well, it's a brilliant idea of jumping through time and seeing all these different historical periods, which is something that you're you're great at, and I love that you're going all over the place. So it'll be. You think it's going to be combat or more sort of
there's combat,
acrobatic?
there's surviving, there's co-op, and there is acrobatic. We were for a long period of time. People that could jump all over the place. But I've been telling a lot of people, I've been doing the same game since Sands of Time.
I know.
And now it's with this character.
Well, it's
and
great.
We'll
There'll
change
be a great
characters.
sense of motion, and I can't wait to see the characters in the game.
I hope
Patrice,
so. We'll see.
Thank you so much for coming by. Hopefully next year at E3 we'll see even more.
Yes, and something playable next time.
All right, we'll hold you to it. We're with you all the way. All right, well, thank you very much, Patrice. We're going to head back over here now to the couch as we get ready for the PlayStation E3 press conference, and joined by the guys from Funhouse and also Stephen Totillo from Kotaku. Guys, how are you? We got Bruce, Adam, James, and Totillo. So, guys, we are... oh my God, we're like 3 minutes away from PlayStation. This is insane. Yeah. So this is a big press conference. Xbox had a great press conference this morning. Sony looks like a lot of secrets have held for what they're going to be doing here in a few minutes. Guys, what can Sony do to win E3?
I have no idea.
I give everyone a PlayStation.
Can they?
VR. I mean, that was the thing. Microsoft had a good press conference. They mentioned a little bit about working with Valve, Oculus. They talked about the Windows 10 support. Nothing about virtual reality on an actual console, though.
Right.
So Morpheus, I think, give it a name that makes sense. PSVR, something like that.
Okay.
And get a release date. I think that's how they're going to win it if they do it.
What about game-wise? Obviously we know they're going to have Uncharted 4. Sony doesn't have a ton of first-party games, as Andy House has admitted, coming out later this year. But lots of rumors about other games that their studios could be working on. Steven, what are your sources telling you? What are you predicting?
Well, I've got 4 things I'm looking for. I think I can cram all 4 in for you for the PlayStation press conference. 1, development studios who are PlayStation only, and we haven't seen games from them for a while. So I'm thinking Guerrilla, the Killzone people, Media Molecule, the Little Big Planet people. 2, Call of Duty, not a Sony franchise, obviously, but wasn't at the Xbox event.
Yeah,
so does it show up? Do we find out about the DLC? Are they getting it first?
Right.
Vita games. Are we going to see any Vita games, or does Vita go to the way of Connect, and we don't even hear about Vita anymore?
What's a legacy platform?
Yeah,
What is that?
exactly.
I'm not really
It's
exactly
like a
sure.
small, kind of looks like a
Does it
football
do Street
or
Pass,
something
or-
like
Yeah.
that. And then the funnest rumor, but I don't know if there's anything to this at all, The Last Guardian, the new speculation.
Everyone loves to speculate on The Last Guardian.
Mark Cerny, the brilliant programmer, has he been brought in by Sony into Japan studio to get The Last Guardian finally out? So that's the great rumor, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. We saw him in the audience of the...
He was at Ubisoft, yeah. And we're like, he's going to announce next too.
Yeah, he was hanging out.
Didn't look too nervous about being on a press conference stage.
Just wasn't practicing his
Who
speech
knows?
presence.
We'll have to see. So, Sony, obviously, people love to speculate about what they're going to do. Any games that you guys are really looking forward to seeing? Uncharted 4, obviously, that's the one I think we know is going to be there. I think No Man's Sky will be there in some form, or at least we're going to have No Man's Sky with us afterwards, which suggests that they could be there in some way. Any other games that you guys really want to see that you haven't seen yet at E3?
I'm interested in seeing more of Destiny.
Yes.
And I think we're going to get some of that. I think they're going to double down on Destiny because we haven't seen that anywhere else. So I'm interested to see how that franchise is going to develop.
Right. exactly open question about they've done the 2 expansions, but what would they do this year? You've reported, Stephen, about rumors of something that, the Comet, I think it's called, or something, right?
Yeah, it's another expansion we're expecting to have come out in the fall, and
Right.
it sounds like a pretty substantial one that fits
Yeah.
what people have been looking for.
Right.
I'd also like to know if The Witness is finally going to come out.
Yeah,
It's
we were
another
just
game
talking
that's
about
been
that.
taking
Jonathan Braid's got
forever.
to show up, right? He's got to be there.
Yeah, hopefully. Jonathan Braid, that would be a good new name for him, too. I like that.
That's true. Witness was at the PS4 announcement event like 2 years ago, February. We haven't seen it in a while. And yeah, you're right. What will they do with indie games? What first-party studios are there? As you mentioned, are there other third-party games they're going to announce? Rumors of like a couple years ago, they had things like Kingdom Hearts that was on stage a few years ago. Would that come back? Would Square hold that until tomorrow, where Square has a press conference? We're not sure, but we're going to head right now to the LA Memorial Sports Coliseum, where PlayStation is getting ready for their press conference. Enjoy it live right here on YouTube, and we'll be back afterwards. Enjoy the show.
You will bring death to all who follow you.
I never asked you your name.
My name is Max.
They will feel my wrath.
I nearly shot your head off. It's good to see you're alive, little brother. Come on. We got a treasure to find.
Please welcome Sean Layden.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for coming tonight. Welcome to thousands at theaters across North America who are also watching us, and millions of you online. Welcome to the press conference. Since the launch of PlayStation 4, we have seen so much creativity from developers and so much innovation from engineers who continue to evolve yet our most powerful console. Today, we will show how games, some familiar and some entirely new, are taking advantage of PS4's powerful technology to create, indeed, the best place to play. That's a clap line. That's an applause line. From our PlayStation community of engineers, creators, and developers, PS4 became the start of a new reality in computer entertainment. A reality where games and gamers come first. A reality where games and developers matter. A reality where games drive innovation, where games are filled with intelligence, insight, and emotional narrative. A reality where games are the hubs of global connection and collaboration. Indeed, a reality where games are the cultural zeitgeist. This new reality of gaming is expansive, inclusive, and boundless. And we can't wait to show you what we mean. Our socially connected network has continued to grow and represents more than traditional gaming. We have risen to the new challenges and opportunities of becoming the best entertainment experience available. What continues to excite me every day are the advances we're seeing in game development. I believe we're witnessing an historic evolution in gaming, full stop. One that is not only redefining how we play, but is broadening the appeal of PlayStation to more people than ever before. But let's get on with it. Our first game tonight has been long anticipated by the gaming community. It is conceived as a poetic story of adventure and friendship, heroism and companionship. I'm personally proud and incredibly thrilled to introduce this long-awaited game.
Thank you. I could not be happier standing here today. You don't know how long I have waited for this moment to reintroduce The Last Guardian with first ever seen gameplay footage on PlayStation 4. Yes. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge the visionary behind this title for all his creativity, leadership, and hard work. The creative director of Last Guardian, Fumito Ueda. Ueda-san. Thank you. And next, to introduce a completely new franchise that I'm totally excited about, it is my pleasure to welcome from Guerrilla Games, Herman Hulst.
Once every decade or so, game studios get a rare opportunity. An opportunity to leave behind the comfortable and familiar, to conquer the challenge of exploring exotic, new horizons. It's been a long journey getting here, but today, on behalf of everyone at Guerrilla Games, I am delighted to finally unveil our newest franchise.
We know we weren't the first ones here. Our stories speak of the ones that came before. The old ones. The world of the old ones was so different than ours. They had built incredible cities with towers that reached the stars. But a darkness came, and their cities turned to graves. And without them, the land started to change. Their great cities faded away. And in their place came new life. Over time, one by one, the tribes came to these lands. Some small and humble, some powerful as kings. They say my tribe was the first to hunt, the first to raise our bows. For this world was never ours. We've always shared it. A dangerous balance between man and machine. There's the herd. Finally. Damn it. A watcher. Better stay out of sight. Go away. No, you don't. Sorry, little one. I couldn't let you call for help. Perfect day for a hunt. This is going to be harder than I thought. Okay, those canisters should be full by now. Just a couple more. Oh, come on! Yes! Gotta get under it. Got it! Time to shut you down! The stories don't tell where the old ones went. They don't tell us why the machines rule these lands. But they warn us that this balance cannot last. The storm is coming. And I will be ready.
We're up 47. I've got the first row files compiled and uploaded. Go over them and let me know what you need.
Please welcome Asad Kizilbash.
Thank you. Wow, that was beautiful and brutal. This is the world of assassination, and that was the world premiere of the new Hitman. Gamers will travel to exotic locations around the world to take out high-profile targets as Agent 47 returns in the most ambitious Hitman ever created. Developer IO Interactive are bringing this blockbuster franchise to console and PC, leading with a digital release that will invite gamers to a live and ever-expanding world that will continue to grow, deepen, and evolve as time goes on. And PlayStation is the place to experience the new Hitman. With a console-exclusive beta being available to PlayStation 4 gamers when they pre-order the game, which is awesome, and then 6 unique contracts that will be exclusive to PlayStation 4 players as the year goes on when the game launches. Can't wait for this game. It's great to see Agent 47 back again. Okay, so this next title is fantastic. It's a console exclusive, and it's fan favorite Street Fighter V. Let's take a look. How cool is that? The next evolution of this legendary fighting franchise is coming exclusively to PlayStation 4 and PC. And we're excited to announce that the very first public beta is exclusive to PlayStation 4 gamers, and it's starting July 23rd. All right, so get that in your calendars. I'll be on it, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. So let's talk about some more games. This next title captured the imagination of the whole industry when it was first announced, and expands our very notion of the word scale. To help us tell more about it, I'd like to welcome from Hello Games, Sean Murray.
Hi guys. So last year, I stood here and we showed you a video of this crazy game we're making called No Man's Sky. This year, I guess I really just wanted to show you how it plays. So this is a giant sandbox that we're making, a universe-sized sandbox. It's full of choices. Like here, we're at the boundary between two warring factions. I could join in, I could take sides. So that's a tiny glimpse of space combat, but I've only got 3 minutes, and there's loads that I want to show you. Like this. So this is the solar system that we're currently at. That's where that battle is taking place, but battles like that are taking place across the universe.